Alors, اليوم رانا today we are always the 5th of August 2023. رانا 5 أوت my god أنا أفسع الخط. رانا 5 أوت 2023. راني نكتب راني نإيديتي ما رانيش نكتب كتبتو statement ما عنديش حل من اللي كتبتو. راني نإيديتي في statement ديالي باش نبعتو لا بوليس. Alors I'm going to read a passage from it and كيما نقولوا حنايا باش نعطي فكرة على واش راني نكتب and this passage is very important tout simplement علاش هاد الباساج على الاسولت تاع tenant number 3 عليا في رمضان 2022 في افريل tout simplement and واش صرا تفاصيل القضية etc the behavior of the police etc and واش راني رايحة كيما نقولوا حنايا نقول في واش كتبت tout simplement اصلا واش edited etc and I will read now and هذه هي God my God alors يا إلهي so هذا هو نوري So this is report number 22 and la date ديالو it is the 18th of April 2022. Bear in mind the 18th of April 2023 درت رابور بيوسف بوسعدي as well and however هذايا تاع التننت الجار نيميرو 3 tout simplement تاع التحت and تاع يوسف بوسعدي الاخراني كامل عنده هاد العادات ولكن 23 tout simplement عام after tout simplement ولكن يوسف بوسعدي كنت درت عليه ديجا رابور كيما نقولوا حنايا long time ago في جوان تاع العام اللي فات tout simplement just after this incident it was the first report اللي reported به يوسف بوسعدي مي بصح ما حققوش لا بوليس and then le 18 2023 درت رابور واحد اخر على يوسف بوسعدي. هذا الرابور اللي رانا حنقراه يخص التننت الجار رقم 3 ما عنده حتى علاقه بيا ما عنده حتى علاقه به as a matter of fact كما ذكرت لهنا في ستيتمنت ما نعرفش مين با اسمه ديسبايت عندي عامين ونص وانا عايشه في هذا الدار ما نعرفش اسمه. الو انا حنقرا واش دار واش صرا واش داروا لا بوليس and the outcome. So this was report 23 report 22 18th for 2022. This was an assault yeah this was an assault by the East European tenant 3 in Ramadan month 2022. In my report I stated the following: 1. During the month of Ramadan at around 16 o'clock 4 تاع العشية I went down to the shared kitchen to prepare my meal of iftar dinner to break fasting with. To give a brief description about the month of Ramadan, it is a month of each year where I have to fast for the entire month and to break the fasting at the exact time of the sunset. For this reason, I tend to use the shared kitchen downstairs at around 16-17 to prepare my meal before sunset. So during that day, I went downstairs as usual, taking my food with me and started cooking, having my casserole over the hob and هنايا كان لازم نعاود نسقمها over the hob and over the hob. 2. All of a sudden, the tenant 3 entered the kitchen swearing, looking very violent and shouting at me, asking me to leave the kitchen with no apparent reason. He also made verbal threats to me that he will kill me if he find me inside the kitchen cooking again. I told him that the kitchen is a shared kitchen and not for a single use of one person. At that moment, he left the kitchen in a rush, making gesture which indicated that he was about that he was about to bring something from his room to commit a crime with it. Let's say a knife, maybe. Not that by that time he already had made several threats to me using the knife close against my face. 3. He came back to the shared kitchen walking very fast towards me, and he pulled me from my coat, and then he took all my stuff from the kitchen board and he thrown them on the floor, stepping on them, kicking them by his feet. This includes my mobile phone and my handbag and some of my cooking stuff. 4. I tried to stop him from what he was doing, asking him to stop. He then turned to me and started pulling me from my coat and then from my arm, twisting it to the back, giving me series of smacks on my face, dragging me all along the wall of the kitchen, trying to hit my head to the wall by several pushing to the wall as well, until I reached the garden door, which is quite long distance from where he started his attack on me, which is about 6 meters. Just on time, I was lucky to have my mobile phone with me to call the police through 999. As soon as he realized that I start calling the police, he pulled himself from the attack. Otherwise, he could have finished me or inflicted a serious injury to my head or to my face. As a matter of fact, after that incident, I suffered from pain to my arms and my foot and a broken nail of my big toe. The police, when they attended, took pictures of the GBH, grievous bodily harm. During 5. During when I was calling the police from inside the shared kitchen, he left the kitchen and he did an act that he personally was not supposed to do at all. He pulled the lock of the kitchen door from inside and then he left. Bear in mind, he was always complaining about me locking the door of the kitchen from inside. I used to do it for health and safety. So once more, I would comment that he acted viciously by locking the door, and this also suggests that even the assault was motivated and most probably was committed by request from somebody, because of the lack of any relationship between me and this person. As a matter of fact, I don't know his name, despite that there is 2 years and 8 months since I start living in this shared house. Blood at head here. Okay? 6. Talking to the police, I left the kitchen fearing for my life, heading towards my flat upstairs. But as soon as I went out from the shared kitchen, I realized that my food was on the cooker. Trying to get back into the kitchen again to switch off the cooker. The door was locked from inside. It took me about few minutes after I ended the call with the police to unlock the door of the kitchen again to find all my meal over the cooker started burning. This suggests that the tenant 3, on the top of his assault against me, the way he locked the door of the kitchen from inside when I started calling the police, it is believed that these acts were motivated to burn my meal of Ramadan as well. This despite that he sounds not that very intelligent to plan such move burning my food. As a result, it is conclusive that he was asked to act. to act so. As a result, it is conclusive that he was asked to act so by certain person who may have been in contact with him. The crime was a crime under the frame of the persecution process I became subject to since long ago. Yeah, more than 40 years ago. Right? 7. After a few minutes, the police arrived. There was 2 police cars and 4 officers attended the scene. However, he was arrested by the police. The officer who arrested him tried to take a verbal statement from me. Meanwhile, I showed him the scene of the crime, including all my belongings which were damaged and thrown on the floor and my meal which was burned. Strange, the police officer refused to take any picture of the scene, which includes my belonging on the floor and my burned meal of Ramadan. But as soon as the officer left the house, 2 other officers, a male and a female, came into the shared house and asked me to give them a statement about the incident. They came up. I have to لازم كان واحد كما نقول حنا شويه حروف راحوا لهنايا ما على بالش ولا other officers, okay, they came up with me to my studio flat. They took seats over my bed and I was sitting at the edge of the coffee table. I started giving them my statement about the incident, underlining the fact that the tenant 3 previously made several threats against me inside the same area of the shared kitchen, and this includes threats with a knife to the face, informing the police that I did contacted the landlord regarding this matter, making him aware of the situation and that this behavior should not be tolerated anymore or ignored, but the landlord sent no reply about my complaint. Whilst talking to the 2 police officers, I felt something hurting me at the level of my foot. On the spot, to check what was inside my socks, I took them off in front of the 2 officers to find my nail of my big toe was broken into 2 halves, which made me feel pain into my foot. Both police officers witnessed this directly and spontaneously as a GBH or grievous bodily harm caused by the attack of the tenant 3 against me inside the shared kitchen that day. The female officer took pictures of the broken nail with her tablet, whilst the male officer took pictures of my face with his mobile, and he asked me whether I was feeling pain anywhere in my body. I told him that my arm was twisted and that I am feeling pain at that level. The male police officer, whilst taking my statement, he left out several times and then he came back. So I find myself continuing giving my statement to the female officer. I signed the statement and they left. Before leaving the premises, I was told that the police will not guarantee that he will be charged for the assault. As a matter of fact, the following morning he was released without being charged at all, and without the police were able to give an explanation for why he was released and what was done with the landlord as well, and the precautious steps were taken with the landlord, if any, to stop him from his attacks in the future at least. It is very disappointing to find out that no action was taken against him and that no discussion was made between the police and the landlord regarding this matter, as if no crime happened and with premeditation as well. The investigation was closed. Without the Met Police were able to give an explanation to why they closed the investigation, as I already mentioned. I tried to trace the investigation outcome through several calls to the 111, and each time I was told that the officer dealing with the case was not in duty to answer my inquiry, and that a message was left for him to get back to me later. Unfortunately, this was never been the case, and the police lack action regarding this crime. The criminal was left free, returned to the shared house, and even encouraged by the answer of the police to commit further crimes against me until he reached the level when he dared to come upstairs to my floor several times, insulting me verbally and physically, without provocations or any contact with him. The matter which became obvious that he was instructed to commit such criminal behavior at certain precise times and days as well. It is a state of persecution, and the persecutor somehow managed to adjust all the circumstances to make me rent from this landlord, having set up the house with actors beforehand, and a flat with a special extra access point to it apart from the main door of the flat for the purpose of the abuse. Stating this, and as I already mentioned, the persecutor is more likely to be a certain state intelligence members or group of individuals acting within a designated organization forming the body of the persecutor. This is concluded for the huge access this organization had to several departments of the state, like the council and the police itself and the social services, with the suspicion of instructing certain police officers to act in such manner to reach certain results. However, this will be concluded by the end of the statement as well, and this is the crime reference number. So هذا هو الكا tout simplement. نعاود نوري روحي لهنايا. Alors نزيد شويه لايت باش نشوف روحي. Alors this is كيما نقولوا حنايا هذا واش صرا and هذا هو الكا كيما نقولوا حنايا. Since I came here I didn't came here to live here. I came here جابوني لهنا باش يعطيوني طريحة tout simplement, plainly as this, and to finish me as the third round tout simplement تاع الديارس and اليهود. and حاجة هذه اللي ما يحبوش يقولوها وما يقدروش يقولوها. علاش؟ عار tout simplement، عار كبير وعيب كبير tout simplement. حاجة كيما هذه تصرا and وانا نزيد نقول لك لو كان ما جيت كيما نقولوا حنايا nobody، لو كان nothing will happen خاطرش I am nobody, but because I am the daughter of this man اللي هي بنت البريزيدون you had كما نقولوا حنايا to find you have to find a way. كان لازم باش تصيب طريقة كيفاش تنحيها tout simplement with the all abuse etc etc. انت دوك تقول لي علي aggressive، انا نقول لك ماشي aggressive. as a matter of fact I am very quiet and very patient person. لو كان انت تعيش عامين ونص في الهال اللي عشتو انايا I am sure نعطيك 6 شهور تولي تقطع في حوايجك، تمشي في الزنقة تقطع في حوايجك. you did what you did and still كيما نقولوا حنايا راني رايحة معاك للشرع and to explain in front of the judge what has happened to simplement plainly and abuse after abuse and ماشي غير abuse. قال this is an abuse تاع ناس أشخاص a persecutor ولا abuse تاني lack of action. it is an abuse lack of action of the police not acting regarding my reports. this is a lack of this is an abuse as well to simplement. وعلاش؟ كيفاش كاين واحد يعطيك في الخباطي كل يوم day and night and كاين لا بوليس يقول لك we can do nothing for you. yes we are for the abuse and for this reason it is كما نقولوا حنايا dual twisted meaning within this statement. هذا ما كان واش نقول لك and هذه هي and حتى وصلت كما نقولوا حنايا وليت نمشي في الزنقه and the abuse ولا عليا في الزنقه ولا الكريمينال يتحرش بيا في الزنقه يحط لي الفخاخ في الزنقه حتى خطره طحت وليت كامل نشرشر بالدم and كما نقولوا حنا threads بخيوط التريسيتي everywhere حتى وصلوا وين دخلوا لي خيط وجا خيط تاع التريسيتي في ظهري في الليل تو سامبلومون دخلوا حطوا لي الخيط تاع الشارجور في الليل دخلوه لي في ظهري منا من التريكو وخرجوه من اللور تو سامبلومون من التريكو and so many threats and حتى كان لازم نبلغ على سمير اغوجيل ورشيده ابركان تو سامبلومون and الكليكه ديالهم for what they were doing كيما نقولوا حنايا بالجزائريه واحد حاش الناس خراخريه تو سامبلومون and then لصقها في واحد اخر تو سامبلومون and him he's living his life normally and just happy and everything is okay وانا لهنا ندفع البرايس for a crime I didn't do labeling me taking my family my life away and trying to shut me up about the case of my father and كما قلت قطرة من دمي نقعدكم كامل في لاكور and you will have to explain مين جات هاد الطفلة كيفاش بنت بومدين تو سامبلومون and this include رقية and خالها أغوجيل اسماعيل. this is the matter of the case and هذه هي الحقيقة تو سامبلومون you did deal with people اللي هنايا كي كان في عمري 12 سنة and على أساس كذبتوا تاني عليهم وقلت لهم يا ودي راهي هي جاية من الناس اللي قتلوا جون اكسيتورا so many بلافين and رانا جايبينها لكم كي دير 20 سنة نجيبوها كي تولي adult she can marry and she can come to this country تعطيوها طريحة. this is the deal هذا واش قلت لهم انتوما اللي قتلتوا البريزيدون في الجزائر tout simplement and this is what we are today tout simplement. هذا ما كان and هذه هي and I will have to stop this video كما نقولوا حنايا and to carry on my work and this is it. هذا ما كان and نتايا تقول لي حكاية سمير أنا نقول لك of course إلا سمير دار طراطق ويقول لهم باللي هي هاي لك كما نقولوا حنايا جاب لي الجية يقول لهم هاي لك هي كما نقولوا حنايا هبلوها باش تديو الدراهم خاطش عندها دراهم على اسمها and هادوك الدراهم تسحقوهم باش يسمحوا لكم وتسددوا الدين ديالكم اكسيتورا. انا نقول لك no it is wrong and what I did it is right to simplement to protect myself and my vulnerable kids to simplement اللي عرضتهم كيما نقولوا حنايا للخبط تاع الجيه and whom they became كيما نقولوا حنايا hostages at Fairfax the Avenue في سربيطن. انت عايش حياتك نورمال رشيدة عايشة حياتها نورمال everybody is happy everybody يدخل على 5 تاع العشية لدارو يتعشى having a family life having a TV having a discussion socializing with people having friends days out وانا لهنايا وولادي كلبة tout simplement تاع l'intelligence for كيما نقولوا حنايا primarily for the case of boumediene the fact كأنايا بنت الرئيس tout simplement persecuted in so many ways tout simplement. لو كان كيما نقولوا حنايا كل ضربة جات بشطرب نوريلك ظهري كامل مشمت tout simplement. unfortunately it is half ضرب and half كيما نقولوا حنايا breaches of my rights daily, my human rights daily, and this is not acceptable and this is not going to be shut about it or to be to have the eye slapped on it or to have كيما نقولوا حنايا نقلبها على جدك tout simplement. this is how I show you a bit of my anger today tout simplement. alors اليوم رانا 5/8/2023 أمينة رويشي بومدين.